In the earliest beginning, ranged warfare began with someone picking up a rock and throwing it at someone else. In time, stronger weapons were developed and fielded. Technology marched on, but in its barest essence, all ranged warfare still boils down to who can throw his rock the furthest and the hardest. It's simple. Apply energy to target. The more energy and the more focused, the quicker your target will become defeated. All modern weapons technology is simply more advanced ways of applying energy to a target. Bigger rocks, thrown harder and further. We had the biggest rocks in the conglomerate, certainly bigger than those of that upstart race of hairless monkeys who blundered their way onto the secrets of FTL travel scant years ago. Our rocks were bigger, and we could throw them further. Plus, their world was one of bountiful resources that we wanted. Surely they couldn't put up a fight, right? We underestimated them. Our ships have regenerative phased EM shielding, impenetrable to all but the most powerful of pulse particle-based weapons they don't even possess. Our ships have charged particle stream cannons, capable of rending any shielding asunder and tearing through laminated uranium, vindicum, and ceramic armor. Armor technology they don't even possess. Our ships have advanced sensors, our admirals advanced tactics, grand strategists honed over years, nay, centuries of three-dimensional warfare. We underestimated them. Their ships have only basic directed energy weapons. Light-based, plasma-based, the kind of technology a science major toys with. Not soldiers, not warriors. Their ships even have primitive projectile weapons, chemical combustion ones for close-in defense, electromagnetic ones for long range. Still, their weapons are no match for our shields. Speaking of shields, their ships don't even have any. They have faced hardened laminated steel armor plating with ceramic and uranium inserts. Backwards monkeys, still using armor, when the more evolved races have long since understood the folly of cladding yourself in heavy, thick skin. Armor designed to stop kinetic penetrators, not advanced energy weapons, like our stream cannons. Their ship's sensors are as crude as the rest, their tactics even more so, still bogged down in the two-dimensional methodology and thinking of a race that's only just taken their first baby steps into interstellar space. Hampered by a lack of technology and military intelligence, their strategies basically boil down to apply face to enemy. Laughable. Oh, we underestimated them, and it cost us. When the war began, their losses were staggering. World after world fell, casualties in the thousands, then millions, then billions. This was a rout, a slaughter. This was no war. And then they started learning. Each of our weapons is capable of burning a hole clean through their plating without slowing down. And when they learned this, they clad their ships in energy-absorbing plating and polished it to a mirror shine. And what took 2 or 3 volleys at first, now takes anything between 7 and 10. Our shields are capable of withstanding any of their weapons directly, any conventional weapon that they have, and when they learned this, they started using unconventional weapons. Fusion bombs, fission bombs. We scoffed at the very notion of them using such primitive technology against us, and then we remembered that with a nuclear explosion comes a powerful EM pulse, powerful enough to interfere with our shields. And suddenly their primitive projectile weapons, their crude light and plasma weapons, could reach our hulls. And since we've long stopped using armor, each of our ships is a match for 10 of theirs. And when they learned this, they started sending 20, 30, 50, 100. We underestimated them so much, and it cost us so much. When the war began, we had 12,000 capital ships and 4 times that number in support vessels, each one a state-of-the-art work of art. The most powerful fleet in the conglomerate, perhaps not in tonnage, but in firepower and resilience. Each one equal to a fleet of their ships, and each one irreplaceable. When the war began, they had 3,000 capital ships and less than 10,000 support vessels, each one a crude mockery, a fleet far, far larger in numbers and tonnage than in firepower or resilience, nowhere near a match for any of the fleets operated by the major races. Crude, flying crates, each one quick and easy to build, each one easily replaced. In sight of their home world, we noticed our losses mounting. Our forward momentum diminished, evaporated. Irreplaceable asset after irreplaceable asset destroyed, removed from existence with a crude and direct efficiency, almost elegant in its simple effectiveness and simple simplicity. Now we have only 16 capital ships left, and about 30 support vessels, give or take, and their fleets number almost 20 times the tonnage and number of ships that they started the war with. Apply face to enemy becomes terrifying and terrifyingly effective when it's 10,000 faces against a dozen enemies. We fatally underestimated them, and it might cost us everything. Everything we've built up, everything we've accomplished, everything we are. We dared them to throw their rocks, confident that our rocks were bigger. And while we have the bigger rocks, they have, as their saying goes, the bigger stones, and many, many more of them. All we can do now is wait, here, in the defense of our home world. All we can do now is wait for their inevitable jump into local space. They've taken every one of our rim worlds, every one of our mining worlds, every one of our colonies. All we can do now is wait for their fleet to manifest on our sensors, and hope and pray that those accursed hairless monkeys, those humans, will accept our unconditional surrender.